Hello and welcome back to Survival Challenge. Right, now this may very well be the last episode of the challenge. The reason I haven't fully decided yet is because of the next thing we have to do. Now that is going to be working in the alfalfa field just to get one last bit of something done so that we can have a nice big selling session with some silage as well. What remains to be seen is whether or not the alfalfa can be baled and wrapped. So we will do the cutting at the very least and see what happens. Luckily though, everything we need to do can be done in one job. So we are going to start straight away, get straight into it. And yes, I know that this series is usually on Saturday, Sunday, but I did post a community post basically saying that it will be this day, obviously the Wednesday, where we'd normally have Terra Life Plus, but instead Terra Life Plus will be put on hold until Vintage and Survival are done. The reason I'm doing that is because FS25 is literally around the corner, and I must have missed a week or something in my sort of planning of the episodes, because it's literally next week, the release, and we're not done the series yet. This one was always going to be ending around 50. We did get a few more episodes out of it. Whether we hit 55 or not remains to be seen. However, this one may very well be the final episode. So, let's crack on with it. The first thing we have to do, the very first thing, we do need a mowing setup. So the reason that we're here at the shop is to get a mowing setup. So, the John Deere that we have can do 260 horsepower, which means we need a mowing setup that is less than that. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this mower does not give a trail, like a row behind, but this one does, and luckily we can still fit in that 260 range. So let's go ahead and purchase this. The other nice thing too is, as I say, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, you can see that it's going to come out the back like that. Doesn't really matter that we're spending this cash, because we're at the end, we don't have anything else to buy, we've got loads of cash in, we're going to get even more. Whether we sell all the buildings and everything remains to be seen. Probably not, just because it's not worth it. To do it, I'd rather keep it all intact and then do a comparison between the very beginning of the first episode and then the end of this one. Right, so we'll get to that point when we get there. The next thing we need is a baler. So in this case, we are going to get an all-in-one. I think I've used this one before. I think it was the Fent actually that I used, so I'll probably go for the Massey baler, but this one does make the most sense because it is an all-in-one that can go onto the back of the class, which, if I'm not mistaken, let's double check, is 145 horsepower, and this one is 140. So it's close, but it will work at least. This one's 150, so we're just getting bigger and bigger. So we'll go for, I think this one can roll as well, but work as well. And it would go well with the class, however, this one makes bigger bales. So we'll just do this one. And it's a very, very nice one as well. With the end turner, what would work best? No, it doesn't matter, because we are going to get another bit of kit to deal with that. Let's go with blue. Let's do the blue bales. It's quite nice, that. Yeah, that can go like that. And buy for 84,500. Purchased. Now, oh, hello. It's right there. Perfect. So let's first off get the John Deere all fired up. We will get it connected over here to the mower first, and it should work. I know that we did put the 3-point linkage on the front of the John Deere for the first time, so it'll connect no problem, but whether or not it actually works remains to be seen. So there should be a PTO in there, but I should probably just test it really quickly here, because if it does not work, then that's problematic. It works wonderfully. Beautiful. Okay, let's get this attached. Now this is basically the setup that we're going to run for this final job before we start selling things, and that's because we need to get the mowing and the baling done all in one quick job. So let's get this right now switched over to I can't remember what is, how do we switch the job at hand? Is it, nope, I thought it was control and Y. Anyways, we'll get that sorted because we don't want it on wide spreading, we do want it on, yeah, right, I thought it was Y to change that. It must be something. I'll find it before we actually start the job as well. But that is all ready to go. Now we will get the class set up on the baler. Now it may be a bit difficult in the very beginning because there are some hills as well. So I'm hoping that those hills don't really impact anything for us as far as the baler goes. And I think it should be fine. But we shall see. Right, the first thing we're going to do here is get this set up as a following helper. Do I even have follow me on this? I don't think I even do. But we are going to change the bale size at the very least. What I'll do is I will get all of this kit brought over to the farm. I don't have follow me on this series. I've never used it on this series. So I'll quickly get that added in so that we can get both of these jobs done at once. And we'll see you back at the farm. Alright, here we are. So we should have the class coming in. There we go. Fantastic. We'll just quickly get that swapped over, or removed, actually remove the helper, so that we can get everything set up first. So I did manage to get the swath dropping sorted. What you have to do is actually unfold it first. So that's why I got sorted. Really happy about that. We'll get the front sorted as well. And realistically, we can just start like this. It does not have to be perfect. We will miss bits, but that is fine. So first off, we'll go back. Oh, hello. Back over to. It's too bad we can't do anything with this. This was all the hay that we never got to feed to the sheepies, which I think they're fine anyways. So that's all right. Here we go. So now, just remember that with the productions that are going on, we still have things that we need to do for that. As far as just having them sold. Look at the sheep running for the food. Oh, that's lovely every time. Right, now we do need to ensure, right, so we do have 150 size bales. We need to lower, we need to fire up, and have follow again. Beauty. So that's all ready to go. Right, as I was saying about productions, what's in there, what remains is fine. If it does end up getting, you know, forgotten about, that is fine. Because we have so much else on to sort of wrap things up. I can't see us needing a final episode after this, unless, of course, this does not work. Oh, it's going in. It's going in, so we'll see if that first bale gets produced. Can't quite see it in there yet, but let's just crack on with the job at hand and see what happens. I'm confident that it'll work, though. And so far, it seems so good. Oh. Here's the moment of truth as well. So the nice thing about all this is that we'll be able to pass through the months. And... right, okay, so it has not worked. Alfalfa, we are not going to be selling alfalfa, but it does not wrap. So that was actually the concern that I had, was that the alfalfa bales weren't going to be able to wrap, and then that would basically eliminate this entire process. We can have a cheeky peek at what alfalfa would sell for, and it isn't anything at all. This, if it was silage, it would have been a very different story, but unfortunately we did have to find out the hard way that that was not going to work. So I think, as unfortunate as it is, I will leave this kit in the field. It just looks like they're doing the job. So we will keep them there, maybe for the before and after photos as well. We may need the John Deere though for selling stuff. Well, we absolutely will. So that is a bit of a shame that it didn't wrap the alfalfa bale, but we're not going to faff with doing the rest of it without making silage. It just doesn't make any sense, especially since we've got other things we do need to get done. First off, we need to look at this menu and see what needs selling. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way through the months, slowly but surely, and get everything sold. That's essentially the plan. Now we could go through and sell everything again, like we've got the Massey, we've got all this, we've got all that. I'm not too fussed on it, again, just because we are at the very end of the series, and it's not a money thing, it's just to wrap things up essentially. But what we do need to do is move on to November and then December as well, because November I don't think anything needs selling. So why don't we just go through the months rather quickly here together. So I'll run over to our little home and we can start that process. Now I know that we've got some honey here as well that needs to be sold, so we will get all this sorted, but we are going to wake up fairly early just to keep an eye on things. We'll go to 6, and then we might just speed through the time. Doing this instead of like jump cutting through, we might as well see, because there will be something to sell in almost every month leading up to the inevitable end of everything. Now I am very tempted to set the T to selling because, oh wow, there is so much wool. Okay, so we have to hit a point, we have to hit a decision point here, because wool will continue to sell. I don't think we can sell it directly from here, so that's fine, but we do need to sell that wool. And I think, right, let's just get some time sped up here. We'll go to daylight, I suppose 8 or something. Right, never mind, it's immediately very, very rainy. That's fine. All of this wool, we have to do something. We've already got pallets upon pallets of extra wool going on, so this is something that will have to get sorted and sold when the time comes. Probably should not have sold that trailer that we had, because that would have been perfect to load all of this. I was going to put it on the little Mercedes, but that is now not an option. So we will get a new trailer again to sell the wool. We don't have to sell it just yet, but we do have to shift it out the way. Everything else as far as selling does look to be not yet. I will sort this tractor and trailer out now though, because otherwise we will have so much wool to deal with, and it will still just be silly anyways how much wool we have. Right, this Scania I did add in, but I never did use it. Should we give it a go then? I do quite like this, the 143. Looks good. You know what? Bugger it. Let's do it. Let's use it anyways. Yeah, we'll keep the fancy rims that they've put in. Heavy hubs. Yeah, we'll go heavy hubs. Yeah, go on then. Design. Oh my. Yeah, let's go for that. Looks good. We don't need the bull bar. That's fine. You know what? Let's just keep it all. Yeah, let's just keep it all as is and buy it for 82,000. It's enough power. Yeah, loads of power. I don't know how this performs. I've never used this before, so we'll see. But we will get ourselves a nice big trailer as well. I guess that's the beauty of having... Yeah, we'll just go for this one just in case. That's a big... that's too... Is that too big? This should be enough. Or do we go for this one? That one's much bigger, isn't it? I just worry this is going to get stuck on the hills. So I'm going to go for this one just in case. We will go with black because the other ones are black, and purchased. Nice. So let's head down to the shop there and see it. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, we are at the point now where we're basically just buying things because we have all this cash. So that's quite fun for me. Actually, this is this is what makes this so good, to be honest. Get all those big bloody lights on. Hey, this is nice, actually. Ah, it's a shame we weren't able to use this in another series. Oh, it sounds fantastic as well. Blimey, listen to that. Just get this lined up nicely. There we go. Let's have a look at the whole setup. Oh, I guess the rims are white. Oops, my bad. Right, anyways, we will put the beacons on because we have them here, and we'll see you back at the farm. Alright, here we are. Now, I could have probably opted for some sort of auto-loading system, but I think we'll have to just line this up like this, to be honest, because... Actually, it might be quicker on the other side. Can we get through there? No, we probably can't. Yeah, it might be better to go the other side just because we can get a bit closer to the actual door itself. What I've also decided is that all of the tea can be sold directly from the production. I've made that decision now that that can be done simply because we're gonna have a tough time. This is gonna be difficult either way, so it's fine. The reason I've decided that is because we have so much other things to deal with, I suppose. Yeah, you know what? As much as I want to keep this kit in the field, it just doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna go and sell it, just from here, to be honest. I know we could bring it down to the shop. We just bought it all. I know it seems a bit silly, but we are at the point now where it doesn't really matter. We're still enjoying the end of everything, but I do want to get all of the things that we've produced sold, because that is kind of the priority of this episode, especially now that the alfalfa didn't happen. It didn't work the way that we had intended it to work. I should have known that it wasn't going to work, to be honest, but nevertheless, that's fine. That's the way it goes sometimes. So let's very quickly get this set up here, and we'll shift as much of this wool over as we can. I know that we've probably lost quite a bit of it, to be honest, but then now I think the best thing to do while we get this sorted is, because May, I believe, is the right time to sell the wool, we can probably get the sheep sold as well. So let's get that set up like this, just out of the way. I do love the Massey. If I was to sell everything, this would be the only thing I don't sell. Someone did suggest as well to have the to basically sell everything and then come back with the little John Deere that we started with. Maybe I'll do that in the before video or something, but yeah, I think for this time we'll just get the before and after with the farm as is, because I don't really want to sell everything, simply because I like the layout of everything. You know, some of the maps I will sell everything and then move on, but this one, since we built it ourselves, I do want to keep it sort of intact, just for myself, really. Anyways, oh come on, this is why we use the Massey for this, but that's fine. We're on the way. Oh come on. Right. Oh, and we mustn't forget there's 2 pallets of clothing right there. They blend in so well that we could have almost forgotten about them. So let's not do that. Right, let's, oh, that was bloody close. Do you see that? How close that was to not going on? Right, this is not how I'm intending this to go. This is really, really terrible. Right, I'm going to quickly adjust the lorry again, and then we'll crack on with a wool loading time-lapse. Alright, I think that's plenty of loading for now. I know there's more pallets in there, but we'll have to just get them later as well. Yeah, that's enough faff for now. It looks good though, at least it's lined up nice. It just takes bloody ages, and realistically this shed is not built for tractors and front loaders. Maybe the Massey, the tiny little Massey over there, but yeah, I wanted to give the class a bit of a chance there, and it's raining as well, so it's better in a cabbed tractor. But what I'm going to do is, yeah, I'll probably do the rest of this off camera, to be honest, and also we'll have more wool spawning anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much it. What I'm going to do is, as soon as we are ready to sell it, which is going to be in, got at the bottom here, wait, where is wool? Whenever we sell it in May, that's when we will stop the sheep producing, because then we'll keep getting even more and more and more, and it'll be quite interesting to see. But what we will do for now is I'll load up the rest of these off camera, just very quickly with the class here, and then we'll move on to December, in which we will actually have things to start selling. Good morning and welcome to December. Right, so we get all the wool loaded on. There's more that has produced, so we'll get that shifted as well. But it is December and we do have canola to sell. I think the price has decreased since this morning, but we'll have a check at where it needs to go anyways. Once we get it loaded in. Oh, there we go. So we'll go to canola. So we could have just about fit it into the little Mercedes, but let's go here. Canola's at the top. Right, the price has decreased. All right, yeah, we should look here instead now that it's emptied out. So it's saying the best price in market stall. Market stall, where's that? 1292. So 1288. So we've just missed the best price. Let's tag that and see. Oh, is that the one there? Oh, brilliant. It's a multifaceted market stall. That is fantastic. Well, that makes this delivery a bit easier. Perhaps we'll have other kit, or other kit, bloody hell, other crops, rather, that can be sold at the market stall as well. So that would be really, really good. I think also the tea is going to be sold directly from the factory. Just because there's going to be so many little pallets to shift there, and we've got so many other things we want to focus on aside from selling a load of tea. Luckily, we have sold some of that tea, so we're not completely not, you know, doing it the right way, I guess you could say. Here, we'll get those beacons on. We can remove the tag. There we go. Sorry, I've got my beacons on. Be careful. Look at that. 11,468 from a bit of canola into the market stall. So that's really good. We'll get that sold and sorted. Now, I do think that December's already done. Actually, oh no, let's go back over here first and fill up the next crop that needs doing, which I believe is going to be linseed, if I'm not mistaken. Should be for January, which we may also be able to sell at the market stall. But we'll have a look at that in just 2 seconds here as we're loading, just before we load it up, because we need to see what we're loading in the first place. Right, it's nice that we're actually able to use this little silo area finally. We've used it to load, you know, crops in, but never unload yet. So that's quite fun. Right, January, there's quite a few things. Oh, never mind. Maybe not too many. Alfalfa. Oh, no, we're not looking at that. Just linseed. So we will get linseed loaded in as much as we can. It is saying railroad silo north, but that's because the price has not achieved its max possibility. So that's the only thing in January. Let's load up what we can of the linseed, because it will be a couple of loads. Oh my goodness. I kind of also wish they would just show what you had in it instead of cycling through every single possible crop. But yeah, especially if it's a multi-silo like this one. Get that filled up nice. It will be at least two trips. Oh yeah, only 2 trips. That's good. Fantastic. 33,600 litres. That is a full load of linseed. Now, we are not going to take it down there just yet, but we will see you in January. Good morning and welcome to January. Yes, it is a bit dark and early in the morning, but the price of linseed is already decreasing. So we are taking our 33,600 litres over to train silo north, if I'm not mistaken, or railroad silo north, which is there is a beacon over there. It's where we've gone many times before. So what we'll do is we'll head over there, bit of a jump cut to get there, and then we'll sell it. We'll come back to the farm, get the rest, go back and sell it, and then we can crack on. Alright, we have arrived at Railway North, and yeah, we'll just unload it straight there because that's where it would unload anyways. As you can see, it does have the little grate to load in any grain that we need to sell, and the train is always seeming to be stuck as well. I think we could rent it and dump it in, but this literally goes directly to the sell point, so that is what we need. So we'll get that loaded in, see what we get from it. I think it was going to be about 50-some thousand for the 2 trailer loads. But yeah, basically we'll get this unloaded, see what's what, and then we'll go back to the farm, get the other trailer load, and then come back with it. So this one earned us 24,000, so it will be a bit less than 50, but that is absolutely fine. We can clear the beacon now, untag it as it were. We'll head back to the farm, get the rest, see you back here in a minute. Alright, here we are again with another 61% of a trailer load, so this time at 20,751 litres. So we'll just get that sold as well. I know by now the price has probably gone down even more, but that's absolutely fine. We'll get that unloaded. There we go. So it's probably going to be about, I don't know, 15, maybe 10, 12,000. 14,915, not, oh, so 914, sorry, not too bad at all. Right, now we can head back to the farm once again, have a look at everything that we need for January. I think, well, January is usually quite busy, but I think in this instance I think we might be moving on more towards like spring and summer. But we'll go back to the farm, have a look around, see what needs selling, and we'll get it sold. Alright, so before we crack on to February, which the mint tea said was best to sell, the mint herbal tea, it is actually showing a really, really good price right now. So what we're going to do is simply set that to selling directly from here, which we can do with the, wait, whichever one we have, the mint herbal tea. So we'll get that changed to selling. It'll sell directly, and we'll get that money in before you know it. As you can see here, it is the best time to sell it, better even than February apparently. So we'll keep an eye on those things. This one, the price is still going up. That one is going, well, it's pretty stagnant, that one. You know what, for that one, let's get that sold as well. We'll get it switched over to selling right now, so that we have only the last one left to go. Get that, change that to selling. There we go. And then when the time is right, we'll get Dahoot's herbal tea sold as well. Again, more than likely directly from the shop itself. So yes, we are losing a bit of profit on that, but that's really not a big problem. We still have lentils to sell, as well as some soybeans. So that, and well, and the wool, of course. We do have fabric and clothes to sell as well. So with the fabric, I don't know if we'll actually make it. Oh, wait, have we? Wow, look at that. We can turn that off. We did have to turn this off. So this we can actually spawn out those two items, because I will get those sold directly. I think that'd be pretty good to do. So we'll get the 2 pallets like that. And then the 43, you know what, we might as well just get that to selling as well. These ones we can take out the, we'll spawn out 4 of them. I suppose we could have spawned out 5, but we'll do the full ones. And then once that's done, we'll get that set to selling as well, just to have it sold. All of this can now pretty well be stopped, I think. We'll let it keep going, and then we'll just sell it in the next month. Because, yeah, we really don't need any more of this tea made, although there is still lots going on. So, realistically, we can just keep it going. Yeah, we'll do that. Right, I think we're ready now to move on to February. Good morning and welcome to March. Right, so as you can see, we went through February, got everything done that we needed to get done. I have slowly been adding wool to the trailer, because that is also coming very, very soon. But we did have the honey here that needs to be sold, and right now the price is probably the best it's going to get. So we're going to go down to the farmer's market. It does open at 6 AM, so that's perfect timing. Usually we're there a bit late, so we shouldn't have to faff with the forklift. Should be able to just drive it straight in. So that is the plan. Now we will double check the price of it just before we do go, and we can see farmer's market there. So that, I don't know if that's a specific spot at the farmer's market. It is not, no. So we'll have to find the individual stall itself. We can untag that because we know where we're going, but we will make our way down to the farmer's market right now and get the honey sold. Alright, here we are. Now we should be arriving just in time. Look at that, just as the barricades are removing themselves, going down. So we will be able to sneak in here and get this sold. Now, it does seem like no one's about. So we are here very early, literally as soon as possible. So I don't know where to sell the honey. That's a bit problematic. I can't remember. It might be right here. I'm going to try right here and just see if honey starts to sell. And if it doesn't, then we may have some problems. Oh dear. I do remember selling honey here before, but oh, there it is. This does work. I hope that was the right price. I might not be. I can't quite remember. I think it was just over 1,000. Well, maybe like 1,500 for the lot of it. So it really wasn't worth much, but it was sat there for so long, it had to be sold. We just had to sell it. Right, so what we'll do now is, I might even just park this up here, because I don't think we'll be using this again for anything. So I'm just going to park it up here, enjoy the farmer's market myself for a moment, now that it's open and all, and we're not selling things. Oops, sorry about your car there. And I think now, hello mate, I think now we're actually able to move on to the spring, more so. I mean, we technically are in spring now, but if we look at things that need selling, we are pretty much waiting until, well, for the wool in May. Anything in March? No, we've got diesel still. The honey is 8 litres. I don't know about that, but that's fine. We'll forget about that. Might be the very last thing that remains. But anyways, it's only worth €29, so I'm not too worried about it. We will move on now from March to April. Have a look around in April. Probably shift a bit more wool off camera, and then we'll move on from April to May, at which point we can start selling the big ticket items. Good morning and welcome to April. So there wasn't much on in April from my understanding from before, other than loading a few pallets of wool onto the trailer, but it turns out that April is the best time to sell Dahoot's world famous tea. Now, which tea? What's the name of it again? I should remember. Herbal tea, the world famous Dahoot's herbal tea. Anyways, as you can see, the price is decreasing now from the much better than best. So we are going to get that shifted over right now. Not physically, because that is so many pallets. So we are just going to get that changed over to selling. Oh, did we have one spawn out on accident? Let's have a cheeky peek. We did not. Brilliant. Happy days. Right, so we are currently at 413,000, which is crazy. But we are going to have an extra 500 now. Wow, that went very quickly. So I think all the tea did sell all in one swift motion. It sure did. Right, well, now that that's the case, I think we can set everything else to selling, because we're just really not going to get that much out of it. The only thing, no, literally everything. So let's change all of these over to selling just over the course of the next little bit, because they will just continuously keep selling over and over and over and over until we're done, basically, until we stop. So let's have a look at everything. Yeah, that's set to selling now. Brilliant. This here, we can get all of these set to selling. And then we'll also do the same for the linden. And also the dryer, we can do the same, because they are distributing technically now still to the what do you call it, to the other productions, but we don't want that anymore. We want it to go selling, and everything is set to selling now, so that is great. Here, that's sold, that's sold. I just want to make sure everything is at 0. This will sell over time. Sell, selling what we actually had, and selling. Wonderful. Every single production that we have on the farm is set to selling. And the last big one we're going to have to do, aside from the lentils, of course, because we do still have the lentils, we do still have the soybeans as far as crops go, but we also have the massive clothes. How did I forget about the bloody clothes? The clothing is worth a lot in May, so that will be in the next month here. The problem with May and the way that this time-saving stock check mod works is a bit frustrating. I mentioned this briefly in the past, but basically what happens is it will show, for example, clothing in May, and it'll show the price now, it'll show the price then, and it'll show the price that is going up. Great, wonderful. However, sometimes it's not May, but rather the end of April. So by the time you get into May, at the time when you would sell, the price is already beginning to decrease again, which is a bit frustrating at times. So it is April now. We are going to move through April a little quickly just to see how the price fluctuates. If it does continue to go up beyond towards the end of the month, then we will just go into May and sell it then. Otherwise, we'll probably get it sold sooner than that. Also, we do have the wool as well, so there's lots of things we need to keep an eye on, but we will do a quick jump cut to that, and we'll see you in a moment. Alright, here we are at the farmer's market. So as you can see, we do have clothing and fabric all ready to be sold. The problem is we do have to get in here with the forklift. That's absolutely fine. Let's just quickly verify where the clothing goes, because I See, oh right, it'll go right here. So let's get that forklift out. This will be probably the last time we do any sort of loading at all, really, in the series. So we might as well make the most of it with a small time lapse. Alright, here is the final bit of product to sell, the fabric, and let's get it in there. Look at that. Another 25,000 euro just from 2 pallets of fabric. We did get nearly 100,000 from 3 pallets of clothing, which is absolutely fantastic. Right, so we can just park this up here. Luckily we managed to get all that sorted. These people have been very patient in waiting for whatever they're waiting for. Absolutely fine by me, but we are going to make our way out of here and head back over to the farm. And now we can move on to May, but actually I believe we might be able to move on till June and get some other products sold, because the fabric and the clothing were meant to be sold in May, but since they've been sold now in April, because the price was effectively, the price of fabric was decreasing and the price of clothing was nearly at its peak. So I thought, perfect opportunity to sell the lot to the same place, which is even more perfect. Right, so we're heading back to the farm now, and we'll wrap up the final bit of selling with some wool and some lentils. Good morning and welcome to May. So we did make our way through April, and now we are here with the sheep, these fantastic wool producing creatures. They have been always a good time. I always love the little sheepies. Hello there, sheepies. They are running for the final bit of food that they have. I have loaded all the pallets. Oh no, there's still a little bit of a half pallet there, so we'll get that loaded on as well. But as you can see, we've got loads and loads and loads of wool. So that will be really good little addition to the lorry there. Might even put it on the top part there. But that is it for the sheepies. Oh, have they run out of food? Oh, blimey. Okay, they have. Maybe that's why they were producing less wool over the last couple of months, but that's really not a problem. As long as they are fine, that is fine. And really, we are fine because they are being sold right now. I believe I need to move the lorry here just a bit, which is absolutely fine. So I'll just get this shifted out of the way. I'll get that other pallet of wool on, and then we'll get the sheep sold. Alright, well, here we are loaded up with the wool. The lorry is ready to deliver it, and I just wanted to say a final goodbye to all the sheepies before we do sell them off to their new homes. Running for a bit of food. Look at the ears. Oh my goodness, so cute when they do their little run. Anyways, we will get them sold. We do have 300 to sell, so I will do that off camera because it might take a moment in the animal dialogue here, because we do have all of these to sell. So I'll do that quickly off camera and we'll see how much we get from the lot of them. Alright, there we go. They are all sold. It was a bit easier actually than I anticipated, simply because there were 25 of each one and there were 8 groups of 25, so yeah, to make it a total of 300, I believe. So let's have a quick look and see. Animals sold 53,000. That's not too bad at all, but the real money is with the wool. So this is all empty now. All the wool is loaded on to the lorry, and the lorry is ready for delivering. Look at that, hey? Incredible. Right, so what we're going to do now is take this down to somewhere to sell. Where's wool? There we go. So to transport company in height. I don't know what any of that means, but let's find out where that is. And okay, that looks like a new place we've never been, in the same complex though, so we will do a cheeky jump cut to get there, but we'll see you there in just a moment. Alright, here we are. So let's get this opened up, this big door here. Should be able to just open it. There we go. So I imagine as soon as we drive in here, it will all start to sell. So we'll get into position there, and we should see a nice bit of influx of cash. Oh, it's Did it already start? It might be right at the beginning here, right at the entrance. Ah, yes, there it is. Okay. It seems a bit off, but that's fine. Maybe it's right. Yeah, we'll go like this. So it's going to be a bit funny, but are we going to hit 1 million? Let's see. Right, the one side is struggling, so we'll just do, yeah, little by little. Ah, there we go. There we go. We may not hit 1 million here, but with the lentils, I think we will. One more to go. There we go, and sold. Absolutely amazing. So I don't know exactly how much we got for that. We can check in just a moment here. We're going to be able to get out of here. Should be fine to get out. Oh yes, look at that. Turning radius. Fantastic. Right, let's have a cheeky peek at how much we got for all that. Should be under sold product, sold wool, 78,000. Okay, so not too bad at all. And you know what, since we're down here at the shop, we might as well get this trailer and tracked unit sold, because we're not going to be using it ever again. It's not bad, this Scania. It's not too bad at all. It was a bit, the wool was a bit heavy for the front end of it, so I wasn't too sure how that was going to work. Oh, hello, damage at the gate. Not a problem. But this will net us another about 100,000, so, well, roughly. So it should put us even closer to the amount of 1 million, and I think that would be, I would consider that a successful survival series. And the nice thing is as well, oh yeah, we're definitely going to hit 1 million. But I would consider that a successful series in that regard, because we didn't really have a goal. We just wanted to build and create, and here we are. We've built, we've created, and now it's time to sell off all of our hard-earned crops and products and all that. So we are in May, but we are moving on now to June and possibly July, because as you can see, we've got soybeans to sell, and luckily it's just at the market stall that is showing the best price. So we will have a rest, and we'll see you in June. Alright, so it is a bit later in the evening in June, but the price for lentils and soybeans have both hit a very, very good price. We are going to start with the lentils just because they are decreasing now. So we'll start with that. I know it won't fill it full. We'll have to come back for another small amount, but we are going to be selling it to the market stall just down the road, so it will be very quick. In fact, we can do the lentils, the second load of lentils, and the soybeans in a quick little time lapse. And here we go, unloading the very last bit of crop on the farm, the soybeans, and we get 23,000 from that, so totaling out at 1.118842 million. Incredible. Can shut the engine down on that, and that is it. We have alfalfa hay there in a big pile that we're not going to faff with selling. We have the singular alfalfa bale as well in the field. But if we look here, we see that essentially everything else is sold. A few little things here and there. The diesel that we never finished, that's fine. All the kit that we have as well, we don't need to get rid of. What I will do though is have a quick rest, head into July, and then we'll have a nice overview of the farm. Of an after shot, of course, after we show the before shot as well, because we do have the before shot which I would like to show. So what we'll do is we'll rest, go into July, show you the after, and then show you how it looked before as well, because it is vastly different. So in fact, actually, we can just make our way up into the sky now. We might as well just do this as we are talking about it. So this is where we are right now. Let's very quickly go through the day to a beautiful morning here in July. Look at that. We have our production area here. We have our tea laboratory. We've got the dryer, we've got the greenhouse, we have the tailor shop, the spinnery, our new yard that we never really fully used, unfortunately, and our sell point. That was primarily for the tea anyways, but we did manage to sell a few things there as well. Our very first field, actually, we'll just go over here as well. We have the brand new alfalfa field that we did eventually get sorted. The sheep had their little shed as well. This was our very first field right here. It was probably about here, and it went rectangularly like that, and then we did put a second field here as well, and then we had the yard where the silo is, but then I decided to turn this into one big field. Then we moved over here. This first thing placed was the little cabin that we had here. We had the firewood production there as well, just behind, and then we eventually had, we turned this into one big area, even though it was a funny L shape, because there were so many trees in the middle that we just couldn't keep up with it. And but eventually turned that into one massive field as well. And then eventually we came over here and bought this big chunk of land, starting with this side, which is why we had the productions being built over here as well. And then of course we slowly worked out our way. We had one area sort of done and loads of trees on this side, and then eventually of course combined it into one massive field, which is where we got all those lentils from. And then yeah, here as well we did have the yard shifted over here, because we did have, I believe, was that 2 sections? No, this might have been one, actually, one big section. Let's have a quick look at the map and see. Yeah, so we started with this one, then we bought, did we buy this first? Yeah, we bought this, then we bought that, then we got this, then we got that, then that. So collectively we've got this big chunk here, so we could even calculate that in part of the total amount, and selling all the kit and all the buildings and all the things, but I'm not too faffed on doing any of that. I just really wanted to show kind of how everything looked, and I really like this farm layout. I will be completely honest, I absolutely love how this turned out. The way that the alfalfa goes right up to the sheep pasture, the way we had the small sort of production slash yard area on this side, very nicely tucked in with the fields around, and then the silo on the far side. Very pleased with how this turned out, and I know that these finale episodes always take so long to record, but especially to record because there's so much, you know, selling and faffing and going back and forth and all that and this and whatever, but it is now done. So the last thing we're going to do is go back to essentially this exact same place, but in a brand new save game, to show you exactly how this looked before we made our transformation to the farm that you now see in front of you. So we'll have a quick jump cut, and in 2 seconds you'll see the before. And there we go. Here is the before. So as you can see, absolutely 1000% different. There are literally no trees in the after bit. We got rid of all the trees and had our firewood production really working overtime to make it work. But we did, and the farm ended up being amazing. So on the left hand side here we had our massive field with a bit of our production area on the nearest end. You can see the track on the left that goes up and around. That was at the far side of the lentil field. On this side here we had the track there as well, which we ended up cutting into a bit for the alfalfa field that we created, and then the rocks on the far side there where we had to stop with the alfalfa field, and then right down here was our small yard, on this side production area, and then the big fields on the far side over there. So quite the drastic change in scenery, to say the very least. But that is in fact the finale of Survival Challenge 2. So I really do hope you've enjoyed this series. I mean, I would call it a success as far as a survival challenge goes. You know, hitting over €1 million at the end, or pounds, or whatever, dollars, whatever you want to call it, at the very end of the series, without selling any buildings, any fields, any plots of land, any kit really. At the end of it all, we did sell some of the kit, of course, but yeah, the majority of it all we did have from for a long time. And then the upgrades as well that came with it. So that does do it for the end of Survival Challenge 2. This is the second to last FS22 series that's ending before FS25, of course. We will continue on with Terra Life Plus with FS25 being released for a bit at least. And but yeah, here we go. Survival Challenge 2 complete. So the next Survival Challenge will be with FS25, which will be very exciting. Obviously, it will probably be a little while before we do that, just to allow mods to be released and all that kind of thing. But I would say that, yeah, this has been a successful survival challenge series. So if you have enjoyed it, I'd love to hear your comments, feedback, any sort of suggestions for the next one. I know there already have been some suggestions. I would like to, in the future, do more of a challenge. Not that this wasn't one. The firewood was definitely a boost in finances for the farm, but I think that made it so much better as well for creating a fun challenge, you know, not just like dire difficulty. However, for the next one, I want it to be more of a challenge. The early days in these series are always a bit challenging, but as we progress, it progressed quite quickly, and yeah, it just got to a point where it was time to have fun with it. That's why we had the massive case combine and things like that. You know, different productions like the tea and all, so it was quite good. So, for the final time, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, a cheeky thumbs up always does help out the channel. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and feel free to join the Discord as well. Link in the description. Right, once again, for the final time from Survival Challenge 2, thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, please do take care, and bye for now.